Two. Good afternoon. My name is Bill Carney, and I am very privileged to be able to introduce today's segment honoring our dear friend and colleague, Mark Hasso. I am a professor in the Construction Management Department of Wentworth Institute of Technology and have many fond memories of working with Mark in my years as a CM professional in CMAA board activities and most recently as a fellow professor at Wentworth for 7 years. As most of you know, Mark passed away earlier this year after a long battle with cancer. He was an amazing advocate, promoter, and educator of the professional construction management field of work. He was a founding father of the New England Chapter of the CMAA. Today we will hear from several colleagues from the CMAA family, industry professionals, and Wentworth.
With Mark for nearly 20 years. I knew him as a man of integrity and the unofficial conscience of the board, always fostering and promoting the needs of CM students. With the time allotted, I can only speak about some of the accomplishments of this remarkable man, whose journey took him from Baghdad to Boston. Born in Iraq in 1946, Mufid Hasso was admired for his cheerful devotion to duty at his high school. The words efficient and steady described his undergraduate years at Al-Hikmah University, where he earned his BSCE in 1967. His first teaching position was at the Institute of Technology in Baghdad, and where he also designed water treatment plants. His work took Mufid to England, where in 1982 he earned his master's in civil engineering, highway and transport at the City University of London. Later that year he came to the United States, adopted the name of Mark, and with an incredible pace embarked upon a career that would earn him many accolades. Between 1983 and 1985, Mark attended Worcester Polytech, joined Chi Epsilon, earned a second master's degree in civil engineering with a concentration in construction management, established 4 engineering firms, and began a 27-year relationship with the Seven Hills Foundation, an organization whose mission is to break down barriers of disability, poverty, and other life challenges. In 1989, Mark began his 31-year tenure on the faculty at Wentworth Institute, where in 2001 he became a full professor of construction management. Between 1993 and 1996, he earned his Massachusetts PE, his PhD in construction management from WPI, and BSC's Presidential Leadership Award. In 1998, CMAA New England named Mark Person of the Year. In 2000, Mark became the 153rd president of BSCE. In 2008 alone, Mark was inducted into Sigma Lambda Chi, the International Honor Society for Construction, and he received BSCE's Citizens Engineer Award, as well as Wentworth's Presidents and Alumni Association's Distinguished Service Awards. Mark served on the boards of numerous organizations, and as Bill mentioned, was one of the founders of the New England Chapter of CMAA. Mark was honored as the first CMAA National Educator of the Year in 2012. And as the first ENR Legacy Award in 2015. In 2017, Mark became a member of the CMAA College of Fellows, the highest honor that CMAA bestows on an individual, in recognition of significant contributions to this profession, the industry, and the association. Following a long battle with pancreatic cancer, Mark passed away on March 16, 2020, at the age of 74. To honor Mark's legacy, the following have been established on a yearly basis. The Mark Hasso Scholarship Endowment by CMAA New England and Wentworth Institute. Over $65,000 has been raised to date. The CMAA National Mark Hasso or Educator of the Year. This year, instructors from Texas and Hawaii were given this award. The Mark H. Hasso Project Excellence and Scholarship Awards Program. I'd like to leave you with a little story Mark's sister May told me. In 1990, she and her mother came to the United States to visit Mark, hoping to persuade him to return to Iraq. While they were here, the Kuwait invasion had begun and they were unable to return. Mark turned the cards around and asked them to stay with him. He gave them shelter and moral support. They never went back to Iraq. Mark continued to help them thrive in the U.S. May wrote, "Words cannot express how he cared about us. He was a kind and true gentleman, very considerate, cheerful, trustworthy, and sincere. May also said she received a letter from one of Mark's students who wrote, "I will continue mentoring others as he mentored me." Those words capture the essence of Mark Hasso, the son, the brother, friend, colleague, the ultimate educator. As Bill mentioned earlier, as we now hear from individuals who knew Mark, some for many, many years. Thank you.
I was so very fortunate to have known Mark Hasso for over 25 years. I can truly say that he was an outstanding educator, industry colleague, and most importantly, a dear friend. Our mutual involvement with starting the CMAA New England Chapter is where I first met. It was Mark's enthusiasm for Wentworth Institute that convinced me to award so many scholarships through the Francis Cavill Trust Fund over the past 25 years annually to Wentworth female students studying construction management. Many students have benefited financially because of Mark's passion for his work. In addition to being an academic leader, Mark served his community in many ways, especially for persons with special needs. He served as a foundation board member on the Seven Hills Foundation for 28 years, which cares for people who have the ability to thrive when given support, respect, and dignity. He was loved and will be sorely missed by myself, as well as many students, professors, industry colleagues, and his devoted and loving family.
Mark was a true champion, one who always sought improvement and collaboration. I had the pleasure of knowing Mark when he first started at Wentworth Institute. He had an uncanny ability to always get the best from us and to be his best at all he did. Mark was a lifelong learner and encouraged us all with his amazing abilities and professionalism. His insights and encouragement will be deeply missed.
Mark was a dynamic academic and industry leader who made a significant impact on our industry at large. He accomplished so much in his lifetime and had such a positive influence on the student he taught and the colleague that were fortunate enough to have worked with him. Everything Mark did in life, he did with enthusiasm and integrity, always leaving a tremendous impact. It was an honor to have known and worked with Mark, and he definitely made the world a better place.
Hello, my name is Zorica Pantić, and I'm the President Emerita of Wentworth Institute of Technology. I had the great privilege and pleasure of working closely with Professor Hasso for 14 years. Mark was an outstanding colleague, a caring teacher, and world-renowned professional. Everybody in the construction industry knew his name and appreciated his opinions and his expertise. His colleagues and his students respected him and loved him too. He was the career builder for many generations of Wentworth students. On behalf of the whole Wentworth community, I would like to express our deepest condolences to his family and his friends. Mark will be sorely missed, and it's a huge loss for all of us.
Hello, I'm Andrea Rutledge, President and CEO of the Construction Management Association of America. I want to thank Tom Ellis and the New England Chapter and the team that put together today's event for inviting me to join you by video. And I look forward to the day when we can visit again in person. I'd like to start by sharing a little bit more about the recent decision to rename the CMAA Educator of the Year Award in honor of Mark Hasso, FCMAA, and to introduce you to the two outstanding educators who are being honored this year. CMAA established the Educator of the Year Award in 2011. Its purpose is to recognize and celebrate a full-time educator for outstanding professional accomplishments and a commitment to construction management education. Mark was the award's first recipient. No one knows Mark better than you, the New England Chapter. After all, he helped to found it. And the New England Chapter honored his contributions by unanimously endorsing his nomination to the CMAA College of Fellows in 2017. When the news of his passing reached the college, they unanimously recommended to the board of directors that Mark's legacy be honored by renaming the CMAA Educator of the Year Award in his memory, and the board agreed. This year, the Mark Hasso CMAA Educator of the Year Award goes to two individuals. Dr. Shirare Kurmansashi is an assistant professor in the Department of Civil Engineering and director of the Resilient Infrastructure and Sustainable Environment Lab at the University of Texas, Arlington. Dr. Kurmansashi has established a CMAA student chapter there and serves as its faculty advisor. She teaches using real projects and encourages her students towards creative solutions to old problems. The other recipient is Norman Takea, an assistant professor at Honolulu Community College. Mr. Takea developed, oversees, and teaches in the foremost college-level CM program in Hawaii. With a placement rate of nearly 100%, this program has become the training ground for almost all entry-level CM prospects in Oahu. Mark was a great advocate for ensuring that young people were prepared for a future that was difficult to predict. To that end, he encouraged his students to become CMITs before they graduated, and he promoted the importance of learning beyond the classroom. Mark and I had colleagues in common, and I believe saw the future of the CM profession in similar ways. It would always be people-based and relationship-oriented. It would be open, welcoming, and inclusive. CMs would be capable of providing a full range of services across a project's life cycle. Successful professionals would blend technical knowledge with relationship skills, communication skills, critical thinking, digital literacy, and decision-making skills. And CMs would be simultaneously strategic thinkers and tactical experts. As I look back over the last 8 months, I'm struck by several things. The tenacity and resourcefulness of CMA members in reorganizing projects, schedules, workloads, supply chains, and safety protocols, especially in states where construction remained an essential activity from the beginning. These were job sites and projects where information came in daily, even hourly, and these teams prevailed. I'm also struck by the generosity of CMAA members who willingly shared information, especially about safety on job sites, with each other. And finally, the trust CMAA members have put in the board and the national staff to deliver CMAA 2020, our first fully virtual program for education and engagement. I do have some fun, fast facts to know and tell. Membership in CMAA is at about 16,700. We have 5,096 CCMs as of August 31, of which 90 are in New England. And we have 5,265 CMITs, of which 161 are in New England. Speaking of CMITs, CMIT is free to active duty military personnel, reservists, members of the National Guard, and to the employees of CMAA's mega members. And speaking of mega members receive the group rate for CMAA 2020. I hope you'll register if you haven't already. I think it's going to be amazing. Thank you again for inviting me. Congratulations to all of this year's honorees. And I look forward to seeing you, whatever that is, as many of you as possible in the weeks and months to come. Thanks again.